The governing New Patriotic Party, NPP, says the planned runoff between Agyarko and Addai Nimoh will not come off. This follows the decision of Agyarko to refrain from the election after the National Council announced that only council members will vote on September 2 to break the tie. Mr. Agyarko, who was livid at the decision, wrote to the party leadership expressing misgivings about the decision. Citi News' Samiria Faye has more.
In a 3-page letter addressed to the chairman of the NPP Presidential Elections Committee, Professor Michael Okwe, the former energy minister says the decision of the National Council was unconstitutional and a breach of the party's rules and regulation governing the party's Superdelegate Congress. Mr. Agyarko says, and I quote, "I refuse to be a part of such an act that seeks to unjustifiably truncate a previously agreed upon process and cannot be part of what is about to be done on September 2nd, 2023. I cannot, with a clear conscience, make such a concession of such an errant decision. I therefore respectfully serve this notice to refrain from such a contest. As always, I wish the party well." Unquote. Mr. Agyarko on August 26th tied with Agyarko-Addai Nimoh at the 5th position with a runoff expected on September 2nd. The National Council of the NPP at a meeting on Wednesday agreed that only National Council members made up of over 135 members will vote on Saturday to break the tie. Agyarko-Addai Nimoh has served notice he will go for the runoff despite calls on him to step down. Mr. Agyarko had also given an indication of his preparedness to go for the runoff, but this time round he may not run again. He says that, quote, "It is totally unconstitutional that a subsession, about 135 National Council members of the Special Electoral College, should assume the function on behalf of 955 delegates who voted in the first round." He continues, "It is totally unacceptable for me that such unconstitutional act can be perpetuated on the altar of expediency. Am I to surmise that the party did not know the cost implication? Is it that the rules of the game will be changed midstream? Rules and regulations that are flip-flop in such a manner are detrimental to the fair play and justice. It is clear violation of the party's constitution and the guidelines for the Special Electoral College. It is unconstitutional act which I cannot allow myself to be associated with." Unquote. Meanwhile, the party has responded to Agyarko in a letter signed by Professor Michael Okwe. It says, and I quote, "In the light of your withdrawal, the aspirants who will contest the November 4th election are as follows: Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, Ken Ohene Japan, Alan John Kojo Chemantin, Owusu Efriya Koto, and Agyarko-Addai Nimoh. We appreciate your engagement and communication in these matters. The committee remains committed to transparency and fairness in all aspects of its work.